The global financial system is undergoing a profound transformation. Artificial intelligence is being embedded into the very wiring of new financial architecture. It is really the invisible engine that is driving this financial reset, powering real-time operations, predictive surveillance, and automated policy decisions. The speed and reach of this integration is unprecedented. It is being presented as progress, as the arrival of a more efficient and rational system, but beneath the surface it raises deeper questions about power, control, and the future of human agency. The intention of the new financial order is that there is no lag between data and action. AI systems are already transforming credit scoring, fraud detection, and algorithmic trading. Credit assessments that once took days now happen very, very quickly, drawing on enormous pools of personal and behavioural data. Algorithmic trading engines execute vast numbers of transactions based on AI predictions of market movements, adjusting positions in fractions of a second. Meanwhile, central banks and major payment networks are embedding AI into real-time payment infrastructure and into the design of central bank digital currencies. In the CBDC or stablecoin system, AI can track, approve, or flag each transaction as it happens. Central banks are exploring predictive analytics to shape policy in real time. They argue, of course, that this helps to anticipate economic shocks and adjust monetary levers with instant effect. Yet the reality is the creation of a financial nervous system where every pulse of value is monitored and processed by a non-human mind. The world of regulatory technology, or RegTech, is where AI's presence is most explicit. Compliance processes that were once manual are now automated. Anti-money laundering and counter-terrorist finance checks can be run continuously, scanning every transaction for signs of illicit behaviour. AI systems watch for patterns that might indicate smurfing, layering, or other laundering techniques, often before human compliance officers are even aware of any sort of anomaly. One striking example is the use of ISO to analyse ISO 20022 message flows. This global payment messaging standard carries detailed structured data and ensures convergence in a supposedly fractured world, which we considered here. AI can sift through millions of these messages to detect suspicious activities. It also strengthens enforcement of the Financial Action Task Force travel rule across both traditional finance and the crypto sector, ensuring identities and transaction details move with funds at all times. This is all presented as a neutral safeguard, yet when the power to permit or deny a transaction rests on the output of an algorithm owned by just a few institutions, questions of fairness and accountability obviously multiply. AI is increasingly embedded in financial identity verification. Biometrics like fingerprints, facial recognition, and even voice prints confirm identity, while behavioural analysis monitors typing and device use in the background. AI does excel at spotting anomalies, including synthetic identities made from real data fragments. Linked to decentralized identity systems, AI still mediates verification through algorithms, raising concerns about exclusion, false positives, and concentrated control by those managing the AI. Environmental and social governance scoring is another area where AI's reach is expanding. Though recent progress in ESG has slowed amid growing scrutiny and its impact upon profitability. Asset managers, banks, and regulators use AI models to evaluate corporate ESG performance in real time, drawing on unconventional sources, which even include satellite imagery to estimate emissions, social media sentiment to gauge labour conditions, and Internet of Things sensor data to monitor supply chain impacts. While these tools aim to assess compliance with sustainability goals and identity risks, in practice, ESG AI models often act as gatekeepers to capital, with a company's access to investment dependent upon algorithms controlled by a few data providers. The machinery behind financial AI is concentrated in just a few infrastructure providers. The largest cloud computing companies, often the same big tech actors that build AI models, host the data sets, run the algorithms, and control the pipelines through which financial data flows take place. Central banks and regulators increasingly depend on these proprietary systems. This dependency is rarely acknowledged, but it introduces structural choke points. A handful of firms can shape the capabilities, scope, and even the ideology of the financial AI that underpins entire economies. Without public alternatives, this concentration of infrastructure is effectively a concentration of economic sovereignty. The raw material of financial AI is data. Every transaction, every login, every biometric scan becomes a clear data point. The assimilation of this information is continuous, producing models that grow more predictive and intrusive over time. Human activity itself is turned into an extractive resource. The scope of collection reaches far beyond financial behavior, encompassing social networks, search histories, geolocation trails, and even emotional states inferred from speeches or writing. The more intimate the data, the more valuable it can become to predictive systems. Once AI systems determine access to credit, investment opportunities, or even basic payment capabilities, they begin to shape behavior. Individuals and businesses adjust their actions to maintain favorable AI scores. Spending patterns, public statements, and even social connections can be influenced by the desire to remain in good standing with the algorithm. This creates a feedback loop where AI does not just measure behavior, it engineers it. Over time, living with an always assessed system could well condition people to self-censor, avoid risk, and conform to the preferences embedded in the model. Just to understand the ambition here, just listen to US tech tycoon Larry Ellison speak about AI.
Citizens will be on their best behavior, because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on, and it's unimpeachable. The cars have cameras on them. I think we have a squad car here someplace. But those kind of applications using AI, if we can use AI, and we're using AI to monitor the video. By the way, and the camera's always on. You don't turn it on and off. And by the way you turn it on, you can't turn it off. I'm going to the bathroom. Oracle, I need 2 minutes to take a bathroom break, and we'll turn it off. The truth is, we don't really turn it off. What we do is we record it so no one can see it, but no one can get into that recording without a court order.
Clearly, these people are quite mad and are really operating from a place of real insecurity. But the more AI governs finance, the more its errors become systemic. A model misjudging market risk or flagging false positives in compliance could create cascading effects across interconnected CBDC networks, tokenized asset markets, and even instant settlement systems. History has already seen the impact of algorithmic failures in flash crashes. In the new architecture, these failures could be magnified by the sheer speed and automation of decision making. Worse, such model errors may remain invisible until they trigger a crisis, by which time human intervention could be too late. AI in finance is marketed as rational and unbiased, a kind of incorruptible judge. In reality, AI models are shaped by their training data and by the objectives of their owners. They can embed and automate inequality. A biased credit scoring model does not just reflect prejudice, it enforces it at scale. I recently saw an interesting Shahir Bolson talk where he correctly, in my eyes, dismissed the idea that AI will become sentient. The key question is, of course, who controls the infrastructure, the models, and the data? He argued that AI is becoming the priesthood of a new pseudo-religion, where its decisions are treated as objective truths, and its authority is rarely challenged. The data it feeds on is the plunder of that digital age, extracted from billions of individuals without meaningful consent. When integrated into programmable money systems, AI could go beyond compliance and market prediction. It could influence spending, permissions based on economic policy, personal behavior scores, or political directives. This would move financial systems from being reactive to being prescriptive, shaping not only what people can buy, but how societies allocate resources. As regular viewers are aware, the embedding of AI in finance is not occurring in isolation. It intersects with other structural shifts. In CBDCs, stablecoin systems that we've considered, AI enables real-time monetary policy, usage tracking, and fraud prevention. In tokenized asset markets, AI can perform instantaneous valuation and settlement, further collapsing the gap between decision and execution. In compliance and ESG frameworks, AI serves as the constant surveillance mechanism of a programmable economy. The narrative is one of inevitability, that AI will take over every decision process because it can process more data faster than humans ever could. But inevitably, it is a choice made by those building the system. The real and present danger is not that AI will gain consciousness, but instead that the concentration of AI control will reinforce the dominance of financial and technological actors. In this light, AI is less a neutral tool than an invisible governor. It is a system for automating both opportunity and exclusion at enormous scale and for embedding structural biases into the economic bloodstream. Artificial intelligence is not simply being added to finance, it is becoming finance. It is present in every transaction scan, every risk model, every compliance check, every credit decision, and every policy simulation. It ensures the assimilation of data into systems that function with minimal human interruption. This concentration of decision power in algorithmic systems has profound implications for economic freedom, equality, and sovereignty. The future of this invisible engine will be determined not by its technical capabilities, but by who directs it, who benefits from it, and who is excluded by it. As AI becomes the nervous system of the financial reset, the most important question is not whether it will be fair, but whether its operators will be held accountable. Sadly, I think we all know the answer to this question, and this is what will define the ongoing reset. That said, we're certainly not without power. The best defense is to keep other options alive, holding and using cash, limiting the amount of data you actually choose to provide to the system, maintaining human connections, and staying alert to the myth that AI is always fair or smart. By talking openly about its flaws, demanding real choices, and living more intentionally, people can stop it becoming the only game in town and ensure that some level of choice remains. Now, thanks so much for joining me. Do check out the other videos in this playlist on the financial reset, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye bye.